signal strength trader for the NASDAQ Futures. It did not trade today. There were no signals generated. You can see a frequent pattern we've seen over the last couple of weeks where the market starts to sell off and it just comes right back. The propping pattern that we talk about continues. You can see it even on Tuesday. It sold off here, and then Wednesday it comes right back, and then it sells off again. It comes right back, and so let's look at it on the 60-minute chart, and then we'll go over some of the other trades and some of the other workspaces that I want to talk about. So let's look at the 60-minute chart for the NASDAQ Futures, and you can see where it's been 2 weeks ago. We were right here, about the same exact place for 2 weeks, and you see lots of V patterns in here, and those are difficult to capture. We have the momentum reversal strategy that captured it today, and you can see just V reversals everywhere, all right back to the same place. Continues propping up even when bonds were selling off. This market just kind of was held in place, and so very interesting dynamic going on here. Let's look at the momentum reversal strategy that captured this move on the NASDAQ. And you can see some of the other trades on the day. Overall, there's been a little bit of a bounce back in the NASDAQ strategies this month. And momentum reversal, you see it capturing that end of day move the last 4 days. So you get this end of the day, last 4 days right there to there's a rally at the end of the day, rally at the end of the day. Although at the very end, this was a sell-off. Very end, this is a rally, rally, rally. So oftentimes the end of the day can turn into the longer term trend, so we'll see. The market won't sell off. Oftentimes it will start to rally, so we'll see if we get a fourth quarter rally or if this market rolls over some more. It's kind of a dead market with a gradually rising VIX. Here is the S&P Portfolio. It was in a $5,000 drawdown when we started the quarter. We started this month, and it's hit equity peaks as of yesterday. It was down a little bit today. We didn't want to risk the worst case drawdown down to 24K. That's further back. The most recent worst case drawdown is 23K. So we've been in about an 18K risk. And so we were waiting for about a $10,000 drawdown. We were looking for it to draw down potentially 5,000 more before we started. But it ran up instead. So we're still waiting. And we're trading the signal strength trader instead. And let's look at this portfolio calculator in general. The VSD strategy that I added yesterday, that I released yesterday, has been added to the portfolio calculator. It's under MAG 7. And so you can build a custom portfolio if you have the stock index portfolio with any of the strategies that you have. And this is the S&P Portfolio 21 at equity peaks as of yesterday, down about $400 today. You can see I've added a couple more beta strategies. And so these are some of the strategies that I'm looking at. I'm not completely happy with some of these SR CounterTrends. And so this is one I was considering. It's right here near this worst case drawdown. And I want to show you the SR CounterTrends, a little bit closer view of those. We've looked at the SR CounterTrend portfolio with the conservative approach. It's bounced back a little bit here recently, last month. And then we looked at an old SR CounterTrend portfolio, and that's the one we were looking at combining with the stock index portfolio. It's way down here from a few years ago. Stock index portfolio, or SR CounterTrend 234. This actually includes some Cobra CT3 strategies. It actually includes this Cobra CT3 strategy. The rest of them are SR CounterTrends, and you can see where this has gone. It's bounced back quite a bit. And it's bounced back this year. It's up 21,000 this year. It's up the last 3 months. And without natural gas, this is actually at an equity peak. And so you can filter out natural gas by setting this to 0. And this portfolio is at equity peaks as of yesterday, October the 4th. And you can see here, it'll update. And then you have to wonder, the time between equity peaks is a little bit, there's a larger distance here than I like. And so this was kind of the pre-pandemic era, and now we're in this pandemic era. And then are we moving away from this back to this, or somewhere in between? What does the future hold still this is still a good setup to trade if you mix it with stock index portfolios and if you're somewhere in between these two. I'm good with that. I don't want to go into something that goes through a drawdown this long, over a year it looks like, but I don't. I mean, but if it's not as good as this, but it's better than this. So somewhere in between, as the VIX has dropped off, as those ranges have dropped off, and as we move back towards some normalcy in the markets potentially. And so we'll see. Bonds and interest rates are a question. Multi-year trends and 40-year trends in the bonds are changing, and so it's unprecedented. It's hard to go back and say, well, let's test this strategy in the 70s. You're going to test it on all these markets in the 70s. Be much different. Those markets weren't even electronic. A lot of the futures markets weren't around, and so you'd have to look at the cash markets. And so there's a lot to consider. But with the combination of the stock index portfolio and this SR CounterTrend portfolio, I've been able to improve the SR CounterTrends a little bit, just making some simple adjustments. Still working on that. It's very time consuming. Working on multiple computers at the same time as I go through this process, and so I will continue to update the portfolio calculator as well. But I do like this beta strategy here. Here it is with it says 20 stock indexes, and then this one is 20 stock indexes plus SR CounterTrends, but I've actually made it about I have actually added 10 more stock indexes. So 10 more stock indexes I'm working with on this, and so you can see what it looks like with just the stock indexes. And then you can see what it looks like with those stock indexes and the SR CounterTrends. And so, still working on this, not completely happy with this setup. And so, this is my latest update, and I will continue to update you. Right now, as for our live trading, we're trading the market position trader, or actually the signal strength trader, not the market position trader. And we continue to adjust these beta strategies. And we're also waiting for the S&P Portfolio 21 to go into a drawdown because it is at equity peaks. And so that is the update for today on our live trading and our research on Thursday, October the 5th, 2023. Hey, David Bean here. Welcome to Capstone Trading Systems YouTube page. Be sure to subscribe to join our community of algorithmic traders. We are real money traders. We share our winning streaks, we share our losing streaks, as well as market updates, strategies, and coding tips.